Hello and welcome to Bronze Age Monsters, the show where we wade into the weirdest and wildest waters of the comic books of the 1970s. This season on B.A.M, we're covering the brief life of Atlas Seaboard Comics, the publishing venture of Martin Goodman that some say was a middle finger to Marvel and Stan Lee. Revenge is a dish best served in 4 colors. I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Jacob Balcom.
Thank you for joining us this week, viewers and listeners. Jacob, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk Weird Suspense. And it's just nice to be back, after our long break. It felt really good recording the last episode. And the last bonus show looked and sounded great, my friend. Kudos to your editing abilities. That was great. It was really, really cool. I mean, I know I'm biased because I love War as Hell, and it was basically just me talking for a half hour. So
that's why you loved it.
Yeah, that is why I loved it, actually. Yeah.
We're all just chimps with mirrors. Come on.
Yeah.
No joke. Actually, I thought it turned out really nice. I think we found a nice vibe with the Shadow Show, where it's like we're not going through panel for panel. It's not this grueling thing. It's more just like us, kind of like it's like After Dark. I mean, it's the Shadow Show. It's like it's not just rapping about something cool, and we're showing the art and we're doing the thing, but it's not so beholden to a grind or a structure. And I really am enjoying it. And I had a blast editing that, by the way. Like, just when you were talking, I was going and diving into those issues and finding some of that stuff. Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, if you're just here because you know that Matt Harvey, the famous musician, is on this episode, hi. We are a podcast where we talk about, we're middle-aged men who talk about 70s comics. That's what we do. But we're specifically talking about the Shadow Show, which is something that we produce for our Patreon backers every other week. So this show comes out every other week, and on those off weeks, we do something special. We just talk about different comic stuff that we love and things that we're interested in. So on the last episode, Jacob wanted to talk about Marvel's War as Hell, which is a really freaking cool comic. It was the first time I'd ever read it. And, we'd be remiss, Jacob, if we didn't point out that after we published that episode, some of our audience members said, by the way, the creator, the concept behind that was by who we named as Tony Isabella, who is now Jenny Isabella. I was not aware of that until we were told that. So apparently they're very cool about their old name they used in the past being used, whatever. They don't have an issue with that, but we just wanted to let you know that we weren't dead naming anybody on purpose or being pricks about anything. We had no idea until a few days ago. So thanks for the people who pointed that out to us. I appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. I'm glad some of our listeners pointed that out because we have nothing but mad respect for Jenny. So, and
I appreciate being given the benefit of the doubt. People just saying, you guys probably didn't know. Not,
right?
You fucking assholes.
All right. I guess we've done okay then, Mad. People didn't come, at us. They were just like, ooh, guys, you're probably kind of dumb, right? And we're like, yeah, we're dumb. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Before we get to our guests, I just want to point out that I appreciate all the kind words about the Vicky episode. We had tons of positive feedback on Discord, on Instagram, on Threads, on Blue Sky. Everyone just said, "Oh my God, that was so much fun! Thank you so much." Blah blah. It was so great to hear that, and I've passed all those messages along to the kids that were the voice actors for all the teens in that episode. So they were brimming with pride, and we had a blast doing it. They're like, "When are we doing another one?" I'm like, "Dude, we're not." We talk about 70s monster comics. We're not doing more Archie ripoffs. But they loved it. It seemed like you guys loved it. I'm so glad people came along for the ride and were just willing to take a chance with us on something that is not monster-based 70s stuff. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And appreciate all the kind words that we got back. Last thing of business before our guest. Some newer listeners have pointed out, why are none of your Werewolf by Night...
I know.
Again, if you're new, when we were the first 3 seasons of the show, we were Werewolf by Night podcast, and then we switched to Bronze Age Monsters for our 4th season. Apparently, those aren't on like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I don't know why. I did not change our Libsyn account or anything to it, but somehow those disappeared. So I think I have to manually go in and republish all those. So if you're a long-time listener and you see Werewolf by Night episodes popping up, that's just old stuff being thrown back into the mix because people ask me, how can I find the first 3 years of the podcast? And I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to fix it. Okay. I think that's everything.
All right.
Okay.
We're ready?
So are you ready for our returning guest, Jacob?
Yes, I'm so ready.
Okay. So we are bringing our friend Matt Harvey on. He was on last season. He helped us. He held our hands through one of our darkest moments of Creature Commandos season. Absolute bullshit where I think Jacob and I were both just banging our heads against the wall with the nonsense of the season. And he really helped us pull through. And so Yeah, we're going to bring him back on. I'm very excited. I think he was one of the first guests we booked for this season, and I assigned him this issue, I think, or maybe he chose. I don't remember, but I think this is a great pairing for him. So this is our friend Matt Harvey back on the show. Hey, Matt.
Howdy. Thank you guys for having me back so much.
Oh, glad
this actually was your pick. I wanted Planet of Vampires, and it was already taken.
That's right.
Damn, forgot about that.
That was a good one, though.
I really liked that Planet of Vampires book. I really like that book a lot. So, yeah. But hey, I'm also very excited about Tarantula, and I'm just excited to be back here with you guys.
I have a hot tip for you, by the way. Omega Man. Check out Omega Man.
Right.
You might like it. It's funny, Matt reminding that you really did guide us through. That was my Dark Night of the Soul of our whole show, was that episode where I was just like, what are we doing? It was. I was just like, what are we even doing? What have I done with my entire life?
Like, snuffed out the pilot light, turned all the burners on.
Seriously. But you were there. You held our hand. You pulled us out of the darkness. And that's why we're still here. So we have you to thank for that.
I was excited to be talking with you guys about comics. And, that got us through, because that was not a good comic.
You're my semicolon tattoo right here. Yes. So if folks don't know, tell a little bit about your pedigree. You are a musician in several projects. We talked a bit about them in the last episode, but tell people who you are that weren't around for last season.
Yeah, I'm mostly known as a sort of death metal guy, which was sort of my second love after comics. And I play in bands like Exhumed and Gruesome, who I'm currently on tour with right now. And if you know anything about death metal, I play with a couple of the original Death guys doing Death songs, because obviously the main guy of Death is deceased in an ironic twist. The guy from Death is dead. Yeah. It's okay to laugh. It's fun. It's very tragic, but it's okay. And so I play with a couple of those guys doing the old Death stuff. And then, recently I've been very busy with Cold Slither, the Dreadnought band from an episode of G.I. Joe in the 80s, which has become a real band. And I have lucked out into being the lead guitar player for Cold Slither. It's an incredibly random gig that I would never have imagined, and it's super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be joining you soon.
Exactly.
You're just a band of vipers. Playing tunes. How many tunes do you have, guys? Because I only know there's only I don't remember how many over in the episode.
Well, it's a very weird gig. Basically, our drummer in this band, Gruesome, he and I have been working together for like a decade now, and he's a major G.I. Joe nerd. He's a Hasbro-verse guy, Transformers, G.I. Joe, whatever. And he. A buddy of his who's also a major G.I. Joe guy is like a label exec. And he was talking to Hasbro. They're like, hey, the 40th anniversary of Cold Slither episode's coming. We want to reissue these figures. And I'm trying to pitch a record to Hasbro. And I want you to be the guy. And so he immediately thought of myself. And then Ross, who plays bass in Exhumed, he's a major Hasbro guy. He has a whole... his Instagram account is Doc Sewage, Man of Plastic, because his name is Ross. Ross Sewage is a station. Anyway, it's a whole, G.I. Joe figure account. And, I'm just a guy that was like their friend that was fairly good at guitar and nerdy enough to know, I know the difference between airtight and alpine or whatever, but I'm not a G.I. Joe, like a deep G.I. Joe guy like they are. Get me talking about like Son of Satan and Howard the Duck or whatever, I'll go all day. But yeah, G.I. Joe, I'm kind of wading in those waters, but I'm okay at guitar, and I already play in bands with them. So yeah, we played at San Diego Comic-Con. We released a record with a whole new set of figures, and it was insane. And I had to talk in a very bad Australian accent for like 4 hours. Any records should be like, oh, right, Mayo, whatever, and it was super fun. So
I love that.
I don't know if it will be announced by the time this comes out, but we will soon be playing another gig with Cold Slither. And for me, I'm just excited. It's an excuse to go to Comic-Cons and see cool stuff. And we went to the Hasbro corporate headquarters the other day in Rhode Island on tour and saw, some of the original paintings for the G.I. Joe cards in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
So cool.
Yeah, it was insane. And, I saw more Marvel figures than I ever imagined existed. Like, I knew there was a lot, but I was just taken aback. So it was great. It was, a nerd's dream come true. It was great.
Wow.
That's awesome. So there's a Cold Slither album?
There's a Cold Slither album. Yeah, it's got like
EP or album?
I should know this. No, it's either 8 or 10 songs.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's an album.
Wow. And, it's full of samples from the cartoons, and they're all songs about everything that happened in the cartoons and all the various misadventures of the Dreadnoks. And it's wild.
Okay,
I got the ridiculous spandex jeans with the black and red stripes and the blue pirate bandanas. I had to grow a beard, and I'm starting to grow the beard back, because Ripper has a beard.
Yeah.
So
I know that. Why wouldn't I know that? I know that.
Of course you know that. Yeah. Zanzibar, however, I just learned that Zanzibar was a Dreadnought recently. That was news to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is awesome. So yeah, you're a very accomplished musician, obviously. But you're also kind of fronting and stepping into our territory, which is podcasting. I thought we had enough podcasts in the world, but lo and behold,
this is your final season, so
all right,
which I'm very disappointed about because every time you guys do a shadow show, I think, oh my god, this would have been a great next season of B.A.M.
Yeah,
whether it's Skull the Slayer or War is Hell or whatever. I'm like, oh man. So yes, you guys have inspired me to start a podcast. Basically, once I heard you guys Shoggoth Saga, I did a deep dive. I just fully geeked out. I downloaded every issue of Scream, Psycho, Nightmare, and I read all of them. And I thought, it's all in the public domain. Like this, it's dying for somebody to do something with them. And I loved like your guys' Satana episodes where you did the whole, I grew up on Power Records, Mark of the Man Wolf, probably.
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's like a formative memory for me.
It is, me too.
And, I love what I do. What I do for fun is I make these little symphonic pieces or whatever. And I thought, oh, these are great horror stories. I can make these symphonic pieces and I can talk in funny voices. And, I listen to a lot of like Suspense and some of the old time radio stuff and have dabbled there. And I thought, oh, this would be really cool as a podcast. So, yeah.
So you shared that, and I had an opportunity to listen to it today and read along with the stories from Scream and Nightmare. And well done, man. This is going to be a great show. So it's called My Favorite Nightmare, right?
Right.
And it's your plan is to do it bi-weekly. And so, yeah, you're doing the Power Records thing with Skywald horror stories. And it's awesome. And your music is amazing. I mean, I'm not surprised. I've heard some of your other non-metal stuff you've done, so I know that you're a very accomplished composer. But, man, that was like Tales from the Crypt HBO quality music. I was floored by how good it was. The whole thing was amazing. I'm your first subscriber.
All right, perfect. I mean, that was really kind of my first thing was like, oh, I'm having fun composing all this stuff. What am I going to do with it? Because it's not in metal. I know, be like, oh, I got an idea for a record. I can send an email to a guy and probably get a record out. But composing, sort of score type stuff is a whole other world. And especially with the rise of AI, I feel like now every entry level filmmaker will probably use AI.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I need to come up with my own reason to do this. And like I said, you guys are to blame 100%. I knew about Skywald, and I just always sort of assumed it was like a second-rate Warren thing. And then I started reading it, and I was like, no, it has its own whole vibe, and there's just tons of great stories. Some not so great, but there's a lot of good stuff. And I just thought, it's all public domain. Like, why is nobody it sounds horrible, but why is nobody exploiting this IP, right? Like it's just sitting there,
it's out there.
And it's great. Right. And I'm, I don't think I'm going to make $1 zillion from dramatizing Skywald stories. Like, don't get me wrong. This is not a get rich quick scheme, but I just thought like, hey, there's this whole thing that people don't know about and really people should know about it. And it's awesome. So,
yeah. And so that's launching September 5th. first episode drops for the public?
Whatever the Friday is. If Friday's the 6th
I don't know,
the 5th, whatever day that is. Yeah.
Yeah, 5th. I think it's the 5th.
Mm-hmm. It is the 5th.
We're just two mad ages born in 1975. We don't understand numbers. We don't know right. So whether it's September 5th or September 6th, whatever that Friday is, yeah, and it's called My Favorite Nightmare. And it's audio drama adaptations of Skywald horror story.
Well, I had a blast with it. And you're doing are you doing like we've been doing on YouTube with the art, showing art as well?
I am, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not as well as you, but I just figured it should be out there on all platforms, and also it's a chance for people to look at the art. And part of my hope, obviously, my hope is that people listen to the show and subscribe and blah blah blah. But my other part is that people go and download this stuff because it's so readily downloadable and it's so great. And if you like EC or Warren at all, like you're gonna love it. And why wouldn't you want to read it? It's great.
100%. You're doing Satan's work, my friend. Spreading the good word of Skywald. We're all about that.
I know you. I said, you guys literally sort of showed me a way forward, and I thought, this is a space that I don't think anybody's been in, and I think I could do this. So.
Yeah. Well, it's good stuff, and people are going to love it. So everybody, please go. There'll be a link in the show notes for this. So go subscribe and check it out. Hopefully, Matt will give me a link.
I will. Thank you very much.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm your first and biggest fan so far. So people are going to have to challenge me and knock me off the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Anything else exciting going on, or should we dive into our issue du jour?
I mean, not more exciting than Weird Suspense.
No.
Very little more exciting than that.
There you go.
So, before we jump in, then we'll switch gears here to Atlas Seaboard. What have your thoughts been on this season as far as like what we've covered so far? What are your thoughts on Atlas Seaboard's output?
I mean, well, I guess as a fan of the show, compared to last season, it's great to see you guys getting more variety and getting to enjoy different things rather than sort of starting out high and kind of bottoming out. I realized when you guys announced the season, I think the only thing that I had was an issue of the Destructor, the one where he meets the people squatting and the tycoons, and of course Steve Ditko has tycoons out to be
the
great.
third issue, the
weird one. The Ditko issue, they're all Ditko, but that one is Ditko and I can't remember who the other guy is.
Vegas? That was the one we really liked, right?
No, that's Vegas is the second one. This is the one that it becomes
when they totally switch gears.
It's a totally different thing.
The mutants underground.
The mutants, Morlocks,
I know. Yeah.
Where Steve Ditko's like, why would you make the business owners out to be horrible?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Remember? Yeah. And he's just like, no. That's not what Rand said. So
yeah.
I mean, I love Steve Ditko, and he's insane, and that's part of why we love him.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing that I really read before. And after reading the Comic Book Chronicles book, the hardcover from Tomorrow's, I was more aware about Atlas, but you guys kind of gave me that push to dive deeper, and it's been super fun. And some of it's great, some of it's not great. And like I said, I legit think Planet of Vampires is a great book, though. I really like that book.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And The Scorpion, amazing book.
Mm-hmm.
Howard Chaykin, as much as he sort of shits all over his early work, he, at least graphically, he comes in really fully formed right in the 70s.
Mm-hmm, totally.
And it's been good seeing you guys just having so much fun and enjoying this stuff and pushing me to, like I said, I go to the bands and be like, hey, maybe I wasn't going to spend another $5, but this Brute number 3, like, all right, okay.
Ball. You got to have 3. Ball. That's when he discovers Ball.
Yeah, he does. Right. Speaks his first word.
all the deep cuts tonight.
Stalker, Death Slayer, Death something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that villain. Oh man. Okay, I blocked the villain out.
Yeah,
Ball was the highlight for me.
Yeah, it all stops with that.
Yeah. So are we ready to dive into Weird Suspense number 1?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right on. Okay, so this first issue was published. It hit the stands on December 24th, just before Christmas, 1974. It's cover dated February of 1975. And this cover is Pencils and Inks by Dick Giordano. And so if you're just listening, folks, we got a hot pink sky background, and there's a woman lashed to a pole, and she's on fire, like being burned like a witch. And then we have her saying, "Though I die, Count Lycosa, you will bear my curse, the curse of the tarantula." And we have in the foreground a sequence showing like time of a man turning in fear from her, grabbing his head in pain, turning green, his eyes bulging out, and then he has compound eyes, and then in the foreground he's fully formed, and he's wearing a collarless blue tunic for some reason, and he is a Spider-Man with compound eyes, red lips, and green webbed fingers and claws for some reason. Very striking cover. My first thought when I looked at this was, this screams Charlton. Like, this is Charlton all over the place to me. So it's Weird Suspense featuring the tarantula. So I guess I'll go first to you. What were your thoughts just based on the cover, Matt?
I think the cover is great. Honestly, like I think Dick Giordano's great in general, and the cover is. I mean, it's almost more exciting than the comic in some ways, and it's keeping in mind the whole like Martin Goodman "fuck you, Stan Lee" thing. It's such the whole concept is such a neat inversion on Spider-Man, and you kind of get a glimpse of that in the cover, in that it's like, no, spiders are horrifying and gross, and this comic is going to be sort of horrifying and gross. And burning, as a metal guy, burning witches are that's right in my wheelhouse. Yep. That's right where.
That's why I thought of you.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to get on Wi-Fi here so I can actually look at this in real time with you guys.
Right on. Jacob?
I love it. It's funny when you said that. Yeah, this does scream Charlton to me, which, makes sense. I mean, Pat Boyette, we'll talk a little bit about him. We've already talked about him a bunch. But yeah, he served at Charlton for decades. But I love it. I love that hot pink sky. There's something there's a Petra-esque choice there that I really loved.
I think for this issue.
Yeah, right. And this is another one of those things to where, goddamn, I wish even GCD never tells us the colorist. No one knows who the fucking colorist for Atlas was, and a lot of times they do a stellar job. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of a bummer. So Matt, I haven't noticed too much, but at the top there, every issue doesn't say all new, no reprint.
No.
That's pretty new, if not this first one, right? I don't want to.
We might have seen
it a limb
once before, but it's not common.
Yeah, it's weird. They thought they had to do that, but right at a number one as well. So, are they getting any sales figures back at this point? Are they having no? So they don't know anything.
I just did a Control F for Tarantula all through CBA 16, and
nothing.
It was confirmed. They had no figures. When the Marvelization happened and Martin said, put these guys, everybody in tights now, the first issues were still on the stand, according to Jeff. Like they didn't even have returns yet. Yeah. So they had no idea how it was selling. So
yeah, such a weird choice.
I know. My guess would be that the title Weird Suspense sounds kind of Golden Age or early Silver. So they're kind of like, we just want to make sure you guys know this is all new stuff. This isn't just reprints.
I was thinking early Silver, sure, like Tales of Suspense, Journey into Mystery.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I think that's probably why. But yeah, I just thought it was weird. I hadn't seen it before, maybe only just one other time. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, you were right, Matt. It is the inversion of Spider-Man in a way that's really, really cool. And yeah, I mean, I love spiders. I mean, I'm sure you guys like spiders, but yeah, spiders are gross, insects are gross. It's not cool. If you turn into a spider, it's not, your life isn't going to get better.
It would be a real bummer.
It's a super bummer to turn into a tarantula.
Kafka-esque.
Yeah, it is, right? That's right. We saw where that,
this seems to me like it's almost like presaging like some of the what ifs. I mean, they've done this several times with Spider-Man, where it's like, what if Spider-Man actually just became a spider? You know, like whatever.
Yeah.
It seemed like
and he shoots webs out of his butt.
Yeah, they just went there immediately with this. Where like you said, a middle finger thing. Like I don't know if Martin said we need a Spider-Man knockoff, and then they gave it to Fleisher, and Fleischer's just like, I know what I'm doing, or what. Yeah,
Fleischer's in like full edgelord mode at this point.
He really is.
And everything, he's just like, fuck it.
That is the only way to describe Michael Fleischer at this point. He is King Edgelord. Yeah.
So this is one of those.
50 years later, it's charming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is one of the covers that, to me, I mentally associate with Atlas Seaboard. I don't know why, but like for years and years, if you said Atlas Seaboard, this is one of the first things that popped into my mind was this cover. So I must have seen it around. It must have intrigued me, and I would have bought this off the stand if I were 12 in 1975. So, well done, Giordano.
Well done, Dick.
Right?
Shall we dive in?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we're at the opening page. All right, title of our story is Curse of the Tarantula. Our cast of creators has character created and scripted by Michael Fleischer. Edited by Jeff Roven, and then Pat Boyette is way at the bottom. There's just a little box that says Pat Boyette, and at first I thought it was an exclamation point after his name, which I would have loved.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, it looks like it is, right? Okay, cool, it is, because I wanted it to be that, because he's all the way at the bottom, and he's like, Pat Boyette. So... Hey, I'm here too. And Michael Fleischer's up. I know, but it's because Mike Fleischer's like character created and scripted by, he's
right, which is also a very weird credit.
It's a weird credit.
Plotted by Michael Fleischer. No, character created and scripted by.
Yeah, it's a lot. But so Matt, obviously we've talked about Mike Fleischer a lot because he's written 10 comics that we've covered this season.
Like 10 this season, yeah, it feels like
10 this season. Damn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And last time we saw Pat Boyette was was it Police Action? Was that it? I was trying to think. I should have gone back and looked, but I was like, I'm gonna remember because we saw Pat Boyette this season.
Well, I thought Police Action was Sikowski and Plug.
Okay, no, yeah, but what was?
Or did he do a follow?
No, because Plug was the second story. It was the Mike,
Lomax.
Yeah, it was Lomax was the first one, right?
That was Sikowski, right?
Yeah, well, Sikowski did one of them, and then the backup is what Plug did. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's where I thought I last saw him, but I know we've seen him this season, and because we've talked about him, because he has a strange pedigree. He was a really cool, weird guy who did a ton of different stuff. Remember, we were talking about like some of the movies that he made. I think one of them's on YouTube. One of them's Lost. There's that sci-fi one he tried to make.
Yes, but I think you might be thinking of on the Shadow Show last season when we talked about Ulysses Bloodstone, when he drew Marvel Presents.
Shit, maybe you're right. Maybe that is where the last time. Okay.
Yeah, that's when we did the deep dive on him.
Okay, that is where we did it. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. So I guess we haven't talked about him on the main show, which is cool. He did pretty much everything. He did all the cool things. When he was a kid, he acted in like radio dramas, on soap operas. He was a broadcast journalist. He went to World War II. He was a cryptographer, and he came back, was in a bunch of different. He produced television. He produced daytime talk shows, puppet shows, commercials, and he was also a TV news anchor. So he was like a TV personality. And he also directed, wrote, scored, narrated these low budget horror movies. One from 1962 called The Dungeon of Harrow or Dungeon of Horror. Which was and that's I think I did see that I watched that after we did the that Marvel premiere one. He also, it says he wrote, produced, and directed this sci-fi. It's a comedy, right? Is that one available, Matt? The weird ones?
That's the one. I think
that's the Lost one. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, after that he did a war movie called No Man's Land. And yeah, I mean, it sounds so cool. He's like this low budget filmmaker that did everything. Like he wrote the score, he wrote it, he did everything. And but I think the biggest thing he did was writing that screenplay for that shitty like biker film, the Girls from Thunder Strip. I think that was actually the most successful thing he did. I mean, relatively in film.
Yeah.
But actually, what he's most famous for is co-creating The Peacemaker with Joe Gill in Charlton. That was in Fighting Five in 1966. So yeah, I mean, I think that's his character that's definitely best known as the show is airing right now.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. Yeah, if folks like old horror movies, Dungeons of Harrow is, I first heard it described as Corman's Poe films on NyQuil, and it's the best description of what I can think of. It's super low budget, very odd, very Charlton horror comic vibe. It's great. If that's your thing.
Yeah,
there's definitely a Charlton sensibility to the artwork, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, and that's
past, but
because I mean, Boyette worked 20 years at Charlton. He wrote and drew hundreds of stories. Up until I think right around 1976, he drew Ghost Manor, Ghostly Tales, Ghost of Dr. Graves, Strange Suspense Stories, Space 1990, all this stuff, like so many different things, not just for Charlton, but for some other companies as well. He wrote Thunderbolts, and yeah, so his work was published at Charlton for years and years and years. And but he also did some work at Warren too. I think the first thing he did was The Rescue of the Morning Maid and Creepy 18. That's from 1968. And yeah, so he's done everything. And he's a really cool guy, a really interesting guy. And yeah, and his art is very interesting and kind of divisive in a lot of ways. People either really like it or really hate it.
I felt sort of on both sides of the fence as I was
Me too.
reading this. There would be like a panel that I thought was amazing, and then I was like, the next panel I was like, this looks like shit.
Yeah,
and like I love his hatching until he hits on a face that looks really weird.
That's
he kind of drawing the same face with the weird nose thing, but there is a lot to really like about it too. And I was not terribly familiar with him, honestly, before reading this, so it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what you brought up, we're definitely going to see throughout the issue.
Sure.
But man, this opening page though is incredible. Like I loved this opening page.
This page is great.
Oh, it's awesome. So yeah, on this, similar to the cover, we see a woman tied to a stake about to be burned by some villagers, and she's saying, "You can kill me, foolish count, but you cannot kill the cult of the tarantula. It will live on through you." And then we see, the count, and he's changing. He's in mid change, going into his spider form, and he says, "Gasp!" And then we see all this great stuff. I don't know. I love all the people. All the faces are really cool and normal on this page.
They're all wearing this sort of Witchfinder General outfit,
totally pilgrim.
Yeah, oh, it's awesome.
And the Curse of the Tarantula lettering on the splash page is so good.
Yeah.
It is so exciting. It's really, really, really good.
Yeah, I loved it. It's one of my favorite things about this page and this issue, really. I mean, I kept going back to it. It's so cool.
Doesn't this feel like some kind of like 3D poster or something you have like for a viewfinder, like the depth, like this pilgrim guy or the villager in the foreground, then the count, and then you go back and all the way back to the guy in the distance with just the purple and the silhouette. Like I just love the depth where I just feel like the camera would just be pushing through. I mean, just super cool. A lot of this feels like Mario Bava, like a Mario Bava movie to me. Like, yeah. And Jacob, I have to say, I love that Fleisher did in the introduction there, the little like William Castle, like, this is not for the faint of heart. This might be too scary for you.
Which, as a 10-year-old kid, you're like, I can take it. I'm ready to read the next page.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's not going to be a kid and be like, okay, he's right. I'm just going to put this down.
Right.
He's just thinking of my best interest.
I would have made fun of that kid if there was a kid. He would have been ostracized.
Yeah, man, his line work, and it's so cool that he inks himself, right? So like you get like I think it's supposed to be a tarantula that died and like either turned to stone or like is just gray, like ashy, but all that fine like pointillism work on it to give it that weird texture, like he just went nuts on this opening page.
Mm-hmm. And that's definitely, I think, the strength of his art is those little tiny lines that he does.
Yeah, his fine line
really
work.
Great. And even when the drawing itself is kind of ugly, like the hatching and the little lines are always really great throughout the issue, you know?
Yeah. I'm a Boyette super fan, so I totally get people that don't like him. I totally understand why, but I like him even when it's like super minimalist, like Richard Sala level, like almost cartooning minimalism, where it feels like it's rushed or something. There's still a charm to it that totally wins me over, and I don't know why, but
he's got a very distinct style.
Yes, he does. Nobody looks like him.
Nope.
Yeah, I did not. The only artist that I kind of thought of as I was reading through this is like some of Dave Gibbons' hatching later sort of reminded me of this kind of ish, and that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's
though.
Really, yeah, the hatching.
And Jacob, like you were saying with the cover, like the great colorist mystery that somebody got robbed. I mean, look at the colors employed, the palette on just this one page.
Yeah.
Well, the whole depth of field that you're describing is because of the colors.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just amazing work, and somebody got screwed. Like, I'm surprised it didn't come out in that Comic Book Artist 16, who, you know, when they talked to like that production manager guy or whoever, I forgot his name, who was like Rovin's right-hand man for like the first 3 to 4 months of this publishing. Like, who is this person?
But how weird is that there's so many interviews, there's so many things, and no one mentioned. I'm sure who's, you know, it's John B. Cook or whoever was doing the interviews, one of the big Tomorrow's guys. Like, I'm sure he was just like, what about the colors? But no one says anything. And that issue is exhaustive. It's the whole fucking issue. Yeah, it makes no sense.
It's criminal, like just throughout the season they're not getting it, but this issue in particular, I feel like is someone's getting robbed. I feel like this one, I think Police Action, we were also kind of freaking out by how cool the coloring was and how it was really augmenting the art. Yeah, we want to move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've set the stage. Okay, so now we cut to present time. And there's a police siren happening. There's a guard sipping his coffee in the foreground. And there's an announcement over the radio. This is a prison, and the Barton brothers have escaped, and they're making a jailbreak right now, and they're dangerous. They're dangerous. And this is like Whiplash, right? This is like probably the opposite extreme of like what, you know, Matt, you were saying, like where the minimalism of some of his faces and stuff like that get like super sketchy and like cartoonishly simple. Like that guard in the first 2 panels with the white hair,
right?
Like it looks super minimalist. Ulysses Bloodstone looked like that in the first few pages of that Marvel Presents as well, Marvel Preview, whatever it's called.
True. You almost feel like the way the guard's face is shaded, that the color is supposed to be a different color past the lines.
Oh, like shadow.
It's just white.
That actually makes more sense.
It looks kind of like it's a very Golden Age feel, you know?
Yeah.
Except for the panel layout with that third panel, I can't tell if it's genius or if it sucks. Like you know what I mean? Like, I was like, why is there part of this panel drifting over? Like, is it amazing? I don't know. Like, it's kind of good, but it's sort of an awkward pacing device, you know? Like, I like it. I do like it, but I can't tell if it's good or not. I'm not a good enough artist to know if it's good, but it's weird. And the whole story is sort of off-putting, so it works. You know what I mean? Like it all has a vibe. You can tell I'm serious. I got my glasses. No more fucking around.
Nope.
Rock shit is over. This is like we're into comic nerd stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's serious business.
So I thought his layouts throughout the entire issue were really interesting. Like these are one of the more dry ones, this opening stuff before it gets weird. But like, I like that third panel where it's just kind of cut in because it's like literally he's just covering up what's not important. Like it's just a window above that guard's head. Who cares? Like all the important stuff you can still see in that weird L-shaped panel. So I think that's cool, but I can see how you can look at it and say, what is its function? But
narratively, it there's no problem with it. It's just kind of awkward. And there's some really good actually panel layouts coming up. Like, I don't want to, spoil it, but as the story goes on, the panel layouts get weird.
They get bonkers.
And it works really well.
They get awesome.
Right.
Yeah, so the Barton boys are out, and the guards are trying to stop them. This guard's like going out saying, well, I hope I run into him. I want to cut him down myself. He's all stoked about the idea of maybe shooting some escapees. And meanwhile, in the background, one of the dudes, the Barton boys, brothers, it sounds like the Beagle Boys from like DuckTales or something like that, right? Like, just the first thing I thought of was like, this is like
Ma Baker's boys, yeah.
And there's a lot of, Ma Baker's boys. So like, there's a lot of stuff in here that feels like Fleisher is doing a Golden Age, Silver Age homage to me. And I'm not sure how much he was intending to do that. But this feels very old-timey to me. So, the dude's climbing up over the railing with a knife in his teeth. And then shiv, shiv, shiv. One guard's down. So we got a body count on page 2 of starting with one dead man.
It's Atlas. You already got a dead guy.
Yep.
Page 2.
And I love that last panel with all the shadow work as he's knifing that guard.
It's great.
Nasty work.
Yeah, I mean, Roven got what he asked for, and I have noticed that we've noticed this pattern. It's not like it's always on page 2 or 3 that someone dies a gruesome death. Like Roven's just like, nope, got to keep him interested.
Yep. They can't show boobs, so.
Nope. So get with the.
They're offering something the big 2 don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, totally. So, so next page. So we get kind of I like the kind of like canted angle of that as the brothers get together and they're just like, okay, quick, grab his machine gun before, and then it's like here, and then a guard comes in and it's like, here they are, and then we get a really brutal killing of them just, and the guy is just like mowed down with a machine gun, which is, pretty brutal. And then I like the one was like, you rotten screw. And then we get kind of like that happens. And then then we go down to that third panel and it's kind of like it comes out. And so now we're behind the guys that are shooting. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like those panels happen at the same time, right?
No, that for
or is that above, another guard?
That was a guard killing one of the Barton brothers.
Okay,
and then below they're answering because they picked up the machine gun from that first dead guard.
Gotcha. Okay, that's right.
So body
one of the Barton
now.
boys down. Okay, body count 3, and so then it's 2 left. All right, hurry up with that rope. And so they got a wheelman waiting for them, and then they get the rope and they're heading up over the wall to a waiting vehicle.
I feel like you would never hear screw in a Marvel or DC comic.
Yeah, you rotten screw.
Never ever.
Yeah.
And
wait, is that prisoner talk for? I thought it was what do you call a guard? Like calling a guard a bull.
A prison guard.
Oh, it is okay.
I actually have a buddy that works in corrections for.
They still use that.
He recently retired. And he was a screw. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's a screw. There's a prison guard. Yeah, and the whole thing feels very. It is very Golden Age, and I love how you can see the scar on the brother's face here. Like, he looks really cool. Like he looks like a bad motherfucker. Like I wouldn't get in his way.
I thought he just had Jonah Hex syndrome.
Right.
Well, Fleisher does love his men with scars, but
right.
Yeah, no.
I'm terribly sorry. Your son's got a case of Jonah Hex syndrome. He's going to be really badass forever.
Yeah, but Matt, you're right. I mean, this is very Golden Age. This could be Crime Does Not Pay.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And it's also like the violence it's edgy for the 70s, but in a way that still feels kind of old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I didn't read this in the 70s, so maybe it didn't then, but it does now.
It has that feel, though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And like the last
man, you're rotten screw. Come on, hurry up with that rope. She ain't gonna wait for us all night.
Yeah, exactly. and that last panel, like they just saw their brother get cut in half. I know these are like hardened criminals, but like it's like get the lead out. You don't gotta tell me twice. Like your brother just got so cut in half with a machine gun like 3 seconds ago.
And do they mention it at all for the rest of the issue? Not once.
Yeah, never comes up again.
They weren't close brothers.
All trauma pushed way down.
Yeah,
that's right.
Way down.
Yeah,
pushed it down.
Yeah, helps with the recidivism. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Yep.
Okay, so this moves on, and their ride is there, and the boys in blue are catching up, and they're answering, they're shooting at each other, blam, blam, blam. I love that second panel with that detail in the cop in purple. Again, the colors just on the color palette, this whole thing with the highlighting and stuff like that is so cool. And the detail, like we were saying, the fine line work, this one, boy, it shines like on that cop in purple. So they're answering, blam, blam, blam. And then we have this beautiful panel, it's just like streetlights coming in through into the car, and the cops are casting yellow, and it's like, now let's go get those snakes. And the siren's going, and they tear off, careening through the streets wildly, wee, 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 varoom. Some great sound effects. But this,
the lettering and the coloring are the stars of this page for sure.
100%.
And I feel like in that second, the cop in purple that you mentioned, and then the two cops in yellow, it reminds me of being a little kid and seeing like the 67 Spider-Man cartoon,
totally,
the Ralph Bakshi era, and how it wasn't realistic, but it made emotional sense.
Yep.
And that's how the coloring works. And it's still really effective.
Yeah, well, I love that way of describing it. Mm-hmm. It makes emotional sense. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. And the sound effects are done excellently. And it kind of, I like all the art on this page. I feel like the angles are a bit straight, having grown up on the How to Draw Comics and Marvel Way book, with like, put the camera at a crazy angle. Yeah. So when like a newspaper editor yelling, it looks insane. And so I see this, I'm like, oh, it looks kind of straight on, but the sound effects and the coloring keep it exciting, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So next page. And we got so they can't shake the cops, and so they are so I like Frank, he's like, we can't shake him, Frank, what are we gonna do? He's like, shut up, will ya? I'm gonna try and give them cops a face full of lead jelly beans. And again,
best piece of dialogue in the whole comic.
It's the best piece of dialogue, but also that is right out of like 1933 Scarface. Totally. You know,
where's James Cagney? Right?
Where is Jimmy Cagney? Because he should be saying that line.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or even just Jack Kirby in a pinstripe suit. Yeah. I'm not trying to get these cops a face full of lead jelly beans. See? It's just, it's incredible.
Yeah, it is. Even though, okay, I have to read this because I really dug this page, especially, best line of dialogue. But this whole sequence of the cops crashing and the car burning up, like, I got to read Fleischer's narration here because I really loved it. So it says, the night air crackles violently as a hail of submachine gunfire spews forth from the fleeing vehicle. As the leaden pellets find their mark, the police car shudders like a living thing, then whirls crazily, bursts into a pillar of crimson flame, and then lies there smoldering, a twisted, blackened coffin. And the way that this is, each little box of narration is exactly, what happens. It's just so perfect. That panel of a burst into a pillar of crimson flame. God damn, I love that panel.
Yeah.
And I think the darkest thing on the whole page is the last panel where it has the guy in blue just smoking a cigarette, doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't.
He just saw a cop car burst into flames. It's like, yeah, I got to go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like the hardest thing in the whole comic. It's like, whoa, this is a brutal world of just violence. Like, holy shit.
Are those just dudes standing around Burn Barrel, like passing around a bottle of hooch? Like rot gut?
As far as I can tell, that's what I was thinking. Just like derelicts, just like,
Yep, they're around a barrel.
Yeah.
Got a couple coats on, they're around a barrel. Yeah, it's again, all this is very fingerless gloves. That's classic, Again, a lot of this, it's harkening back to the 30s and 40s in a lot of ways. So
I mean, this is the darkest noir.
It is, yeah.
And body count's now at 5, by the way, guys. 2 more.
Nice.
Join the
beautiful. I'm sure we're going to get it up higher. Don't
worry. This is on page 6.
Page
5. Yeah.
Yet, so you're right. We're doing great.
And again, you mentioned Petra at the top. Like these kind of remind me of the same colors I was freaking out about for War is Hell last week.
I know.
It's almost like a blacklight poster.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're moving on here. So this is when the page the panels and the layout start to get very interesting. So we see the guys, the driver, the wheelman, and the two surviving Barton brothers, and they're saying, "Good shooting, Frank. That puts us in the clear for now, anyway." And he says, "Yeah, but I'm darned if I know where the heck we are." I love the way that wheelman looks, like bald guy with a little bit of a mullet beard. Like he looks, he's made a screwdriver, like just poured vodka into like an orange juice concentrate can and just drank it out of there before after a rough night. He looks like that kind of guy. You get this wild like canted angle, or maybe they're just going down a hill, but the rain, the storm's coming. And the first thing I thought was like, this is James Whale. This is like Old Dark House.
It is.
And so they pull up outside of this house and they're like, "Hey, see that dilapidated old house up there? Head for it. Whoever lives there ought to have some food and clothes we can use." So they need to get out of their prison, gear, get a meal, whatever, kind of regroup. And then inside we see a servant saying, "Count Lycosa, come quickly. Those men are coming up the hill. They look just like those escaped convicts whose descriptions we heard on the radio." Like just the radio. Just the radio. Like
that's it.
I love that they're just hanging out at the Count's spooky mansion, just always tuned to the radio. You never know what's going on. They're keeping abreast of current events at all times.
They're listening to the band that played before the War of the Worlds.
Totally.
Podcast. It's like so from the lobby of the
So again, I'm just loving Boyette's line work on the faces and stuff like that, and all the detail. It's just gorgeous. The weird panels, like it's starting to splinter. It was all rectangles and all stacked, and everything made sense. And now that we're going into Lycosa's web, the panels are starting to break and kind of get to look like segments in a spider's web. Fucking awesome.
Right. I mean, that's exactly it. Mm-hmm. I saw it immediately, and I was like, well, I'm not going to have to point it out because I know you guys can see this. But as soon as we get towards the tarantula, we get stuck in his web of irregular panel design, and it's really cool.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's a great bit.
And if you notice, we see that the Count down there is reading something that Damon Hellstrom would probably be reading. I can't tell what it is, but it looks like a tome.
He was probably in the middle of a big battle, had to stop and study.
Honestly, is still one of my favorite things in all of comics.
Right. As readers, we all relate to that character. Like, look, he's got to read to figure it out. It's great.
Yeah, so I love this page. I've been loving it so far, but I was just like, turned the page. I was like, ooh, the web is extending.
Yeah, you're so right with the Old Dark House vibe too. Just rewatched that recently. I love it. I never get tired of it. Yeah, but awesome page. So okay, the next one we're at. So the Count kind of notices. What does he say? He's like, you may be quite right, Joseph. One of them seems to be carrying a submachine gun. And then, we realize we're like, oh, he's being pretty cavalier. That's kind of weird. And Joseph's like, oh, well, they're supposed to be dangerous. Maybe you should like go to your room at once. And we realize now he's probably saying that, more for the criminal's sake than anything. And then it's like, no, Joseph, I don't think so. I think it would be best if I waited for them right here. He's like, nah, hurry, go down and answer the door. We're not going to keep our guests waiting. He's like, yes, sir. I mean, no, sir. So obviously his...
I love how comfortable he is just like putting his manservant in harm's way. It's like, he's got a submachine gun. Go say hi to him. Like, just let him...
Honestly,
I'll wait here. It's fine.
With all that Joseph has probably seen, he's probably just like, oh, yeah. No. Send me to the guys with the submachine gun. That's totally cool.
He's in that sort of Alfred Jarvis kind of,
he is, but constantly in the state of shitting his pants.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's so, he's the convicts are there and they're just like, they don't answer. Maybe no one's at home. They're like, no, there's lights, knock again. And then, Joseph answers like, oh, can I help you, gentlemen? They're like, I see you was home. And they push their way through. They're like, you got visitors, Grandpa, with a W.
Very important.
Yeah. Me and the boys figured we'd just drop by for some graham crackers and warm milk. I like Joseph. But. So again, the dialogue's pretty inexplicable in a lot of ways. Can't quite figure it out.
It's like so archetypal that it becomes nonsense.
It does.
nobody's an actual character with any sort of depth. It's just becomes gobbledygook, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just out of some Howard Hawks like Bogart, like just it's just autopilot. Like it's just
right
cultural, just like noise that we just all kind of know. You barely even need to read it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even in a 9-year-old in 1974 or whatever, yeah, clearly this is part of the background noise of their life, and they're like, okay, cool, great, we're gonna get to some cool action. Like let's just keep going.
Yeah, but man, this bottom half of this page, which we're showing right here, I mean, like that when them knocking on the door, the colors, those muted blues, like just moonlight on them, and the green of the house, and I mean, that looks like Alex Toth or like David Mazzucchelli, like Asterios Polyp or something like that.
I was going to say, it looks like Toth's layouts, not his finishes, but it looks like his layouts because the storytelling is so clear. And remove all the word panels, and you know exactly what's going on.
Yes.
And that's why the kind of bullshit dialogue
Yep.
gets a pass because the storytelling is so absolutely clear. And I don't know if I love Boyette's art like you guys do, but in terms of storytelling, it's 100% there. It's perfect. And Alex Toth was what I kind of kept thinking about as I was reading this, which you can't really give higher praise than that.
Yeah, and it's one of the few compass points I have for talking about Boyette's art. Like, I have a hard time comparing him to other people, but Toth's one of the ones where I can just kind of like, and it's not all the time, like you're saying. It's like on that panel and knocking on the thing, like that's Toth. That's fucking Toth.
Yeah.
And then like you go down a panel or two, and it's like, nah, not so much. But
it's just the clarity of storytelling where Toth is always like, boil it down, simplify it, make sure that, a kid can see this. And there's a brilliance to that level of storytelling that it's undeniable. And yeah, even this graham crackers.
Graham crackers.
I mean, I get it, but like, come on, Fleisher, you're better than this, man.
Yeah, this is all late show dialogue. All right, we're moving on because this is when it gets awesome. Okay, so we got another weird layout here. So it kind of made it hard for me to make slides to show while we're talking because so much of the page is bisected in weird ways that don't lend themselves to this. But so the guys are coming in, they're in the foyer. They say, "Wow, this is some layout," like, "Oh, you got this place all by all yourself, Grandpa." And then we see in the foreground this silhouette, and there's also a little bit of Giffen that I see in Boyette's art sometimes, a little bit of Keith Giffen, but like this slender and silhouette, and the weird Lycosa has weird balloons that almost have spider legs on them. So you have to imagine like what his voice is. Is it flinty? Is it almost like veering out of like human range? Like he says, "No, he doesn't. Cool. This is my house. Joseph lives here with me." And he's still like the next panel. His top half is still in shadow, and I find this whole page so effective. Like it's a comic literally as old as I am, but this still kind of made the hairs on my neck stand up a little bit. Because that's so. Then who are you? I'm Count Eugene Lycosa, but to men of your ilk, I am known as. And he's starting to step out into the light of the room, and you can see, oh shit, he's changed. The Tarantula. And he's raising his hand in a weird kind of gesture, and he just looks so creepy. And I love that bust in the edge of the frame. I don't know why.
Closer.
Like you're pushing in as he's stepping into the camera. So some kind of weird camera focus trick is happening, but the light reveals the horror of him, his compound eyes, and he looks creepy as shit. And
I mean the third and fourth panels on this page where it's the tarantula's head half shadowed and then coming out of the shadows, they are fantastic.
Yeah, they really are.
They're extremely fucking good. Like there's no two ways about it. This is the only kind of point of the issue where I feel like the coloring maybe doesn't serve the story as well, because the tarantula is sort of this green and red.
Yeah.
Like it needs some depth, and I don't know, green and red always makes you think of Christmas.
Yeah, but
the actual the black and white artwork for this is, I mean, it's perfect. It's really disturbing and like, ugh.
Yeah, and I feel like the color palette for this character was chosen because of 4-color comics and trying to pop.
100%.
But if this were actually a tarantula, like what if he were like brownish and his eyes were just like a dark blue or something, or gray.
I would love to see that. And his weird sort of sideburns coming off his face. Like, I'm not sure what technique is used with the brush there, but it's really, really good. Like, it's really, really good.
It's scary. It's scary. Like that hair is scary.
And so this super effective, cool, creepy sequence is ruined by the last panel where the wheelman says, Frank, something tells me we've stumbled into something creepy. Please, let's get out of here. And then the guy says, not in your life. So, shit's going sideways. He just grabbed a gun out of their hand, and they're like, I think something weird's going on here, guys.
That's what I was like. I was like, no. Wow, really?
Yeah, I feel like if this was a comic made, even 6 or 7 years later, the second, third, and fourth panel would have taken up the whole side of the page. Mm-hmm. And then the page turn would have been like, holy shit, we're scared it's a tarantula, because the reveal of his face is so effective. And then it's like, boy, he grabbed my gun. I guess it's weird.
It is weird, right? Like it's anticlimactic in a lot of ways, or it just doesn't, it doesn't fit. Like the
right.
Yeah.
The page shits its pants on the last panel, unfortunately.
It does.
And it's such a bummer, because I think that, I really think that the art on this page is probably the strongest in the whole issue. It's really impressive.
That's amazing.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, it absolutely is. So, okay. Yeah, we go to the next page, and immediately, he takes that, like we saw on the bottom of the last page. So the Count takes the machine gun, snaps it in two. Now the guys finally freak out. They have their delayed reaction in our eyes. Yeah.
Some great vintage 1964 dialogue telling you exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
He ain't human.
He ain't human. Can you tell? And then the wheelman's like, I'm getting out of here. The front door's locked. And I love this logic. Like, maybe there's another way out of here. Let's go deeper into the house. That's the way to get out. Always.
Go to a creepy mansion. Go deeper.
That's the only way out. And so, they're just, and the Count's just like, flee while you can, insects. I enjoy the chase. And I love it. It goes down to where, and I love this panel of them running, like they're running towards this door. And he's just kind of, he's just slowly probably walking towards them, following them. He's saying but know this in the depths of your black hearts. You are all, every one of you, doomed men. You see on that final panel, so we see he has his own little crest there in the back, which is pretty cool.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's good branding right there. He has his own little coat of arms, which is cool. And so, he's just, I love the guy. I don't know. I mean, Boyette stuff is very so stylized, but I think that would be sweat, kind of like this sweat's just pouring off this guy's face, right?
Okay. I was wondering, is he drooling?
It's weird. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes Matt, you brought up a really good point early on that I think sometimes straight coloring of something does a bit of a disservice to Boyette's faces.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because now, ever since you said that, I've been looking and just being like, oh, you know what? If there's a little bit of gradation, a little bit of something else, it might make a lot more sense right on the surface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it would really sell the faces, because it's really his faces throughout that kind of, I don't know if they rub me the wrong way. That sounds maybe too harsh, but they sort of take me out of the story. And I feel like I'm looking at a face that this guy draws. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of,
I can totally see that.
And kind of shading and stuff. And I was like, is he drooling? Is he sweating? Is he just did he miss a spot while he was shaving his beard off? I don't know what's going on with this.
I love the touch that the Count is climbing like a spider, up on the mantle, and he's among the rafters.
So good.
Just amping it up.
Yeah, just him stalking them is terrifying.
Yeah. I did not notice the crest until you pointed that out. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about the crest. I was like, he just is behind this crest, there's another crest.
Yeah.
A medieval cross thing, and he's like, nope, I got a spider here.
Yeah, I had to update it.
Right. You thought it was a regular creepy castle. No, it's a spider theme.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a griffin, but that didn't make any sense. Then he got cursed. And now it's like, I know what it should be.
I had to get my butler change this because it didn't remember.
Joseph, get on this.
Joseph, thank you. I can't remember his name. Yeah. Joseph, please come here.
Oh man. I do love that second to last panel though when they're running towards that door, like the bald head in the foreground, and just the perspective is so cool, and the way the layout's perfect composition.
It's another total Toth kind of panel.
Yeah, 100%.
With the grading on the side and the coloring actually works really well on that panel. And that's why it may be frustrating elsewhere, but yeah.
I think, Matt, that was a revelation. I think that some of these lines, the little fine lines, like on the prisoner's face in the last panel, the escapee, I think that was meant to suggest that there should be shadow on the middle of his face because he's running away from light into like shadow, and the colorist just said pink or what, just European pink.
The colorist said, I'm not getting better page rates.
Yeah.
Like y'all are Atlas. I'm just like, trying to get done.
Well, they don't even get to exist. Yeah.
But I don't even get a sense of like laziness from this colorist. I think it's just a miscommunication or just like not understanding Boyette's pencils.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, I don't think this colorist is so masterful in this issue, but yeah, I just think, I don't know. I think that there can be like a miscommunication or a lost in translation thing when it comes with his faces and colors. I'm getting more of that as the issue goes on after you mentioned that, Matt.
Yeah, me too. Like that, I think that should have been shaded with different coloring in the middle, and we probably would have liked it more.
It would have added a whole sense of forward movement and depth and descending into darkness and all that stuff, because it's all there. It's just not quite delivered.
Yeah,
and it's also the kind of thing where if you had 2 days to do this and the artist wasn't specifically telling you this, you're just like, okay, cool, all right, this is pretty good, move on.
Yeah,
because so much of this stuff, all these things that as fans we go super deep into, that people are just like, I don't know, man, like I was just trying to like make enough money to pay rent and maybe get some weed or whatever.
Yeah. But the end result is it comes off as flat and doesn't work for us, the three of us. Okay.
It doesn't excel as much as some of the other stuff, because there is a lot of great stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, moving on. So we get another page of odd panels here. So this is basically just them scurrying like prey into the web. It says, consumed by mortal terror, the convicts race frantically through the labyrinthine corridors of the decaying mansion. Quick, through that door. Maybe it leads to some kind of way out. These guys, not the sharpest knives in the drawer.
Nope.
Hurry up. I think I can hear them coming after us. Get a nice cool panel of them all cast in blue as they go through into a chamber that they're just going blindly, just out of fear. And they go in. They find themselves entangled in what feels like the sticky strands of a giant fishnet. What the? And so they are literally in a giant web. And I love this last panel as he's crouching up. The spider at the top of the web looking down at his prey, caught up, and he says, only a wan shaft of moonlight penetrating the skylight overhead brings the convicts full realization of the agonizing doom that awaits them. They look up and see him just crouching down, watching over them, and just scream out in terror. Effective.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, the only thing I don't like is the sticky strands of a giant fishnet.
Yeah.
I feel like really undersells the picture, because the picture's horrifying. And then the dialogue is like, oh, it's just kind of fun or whatever.
It's like rope or something, but like,
yeah, it sounds silly, but the picture actually looks terrifying. And the last panel is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And the I don't know how to pronounce the sound effect.
Yeah.
That works. Okay.
I can do work for your podcast, by the way.
That's pretty good. Yeah. All right.
You know, what I loved about that fourth panel is that I love that each one of the convicts, the two brothers and the driver, are colored differently. We have a white, then a blue, then a green at the bottom. Weird choice, but so cool.
Yeah.
That's a very good observation that I hadn't noticed, and that kind of makes the whole thing work. I just noticed that it works, but you're 100% right. That's why it works. That's so cool.
I love it.
And the hatching sort of towards Lycosas' boots, that whole kind of rock web face is just, it's really good. Like, it's really fucking good.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so next
now
page.
I'm picturing how he made that web in that chamber. Sorry. So just him hiking his pants down and just like, I'm just going to prep this room just in case anybody breaks in.
See, we don't see how the sausage is made. Right. We don't see how the web is made because that's going to it's going to ruin the illusion of coolness. Those boots.
Yeah, the Comics Code would not approve how the web was made.
Joseph, more Gatorade. I'm dehydrated.
Oh man. So okay, I love this. The narration reads, as the blood-crazed arachnid plummets down the web, the trapped convicts twist and squirm in abject terror until the venomous bite of the tarantula paralyzes their every nerve and transports them glassy-eyed into a world beyond terror, beyond suffering, beyond pain. And so that first panel, it's terrifying because he's doing that so fast.
Yes,
like he's scurrying, he's skittering at just like as fast as he can go right towards them. You see their faces, and then as he's biting them, and goddamn, their faces in that second, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
like it is absolutely horrifying because you see they're kind of like that guy to the left or to the right is he's just melting into the web now. And it's just, goddamn, it's so scary. And it's such a cool note to kind of end on because then at the bottom, we get our flashback. So it goes right into a whole other story that we're going to get.
Cue the flute section.
Exactly. Yep. It's like, ooh. And then,
it's a very jarring shift because the first two panels are like really good horror comics. And, you sort of, I'm sure even kids, when this was coming out, you're thinking about Spider-Man, and he just seems so fun and zany, and you're like, this is actually horrifying, and even being captured by Spider-Man would actually be pretty fucking horrifying because not only does he beat you up and then hangs you in a web to your doom, then he makes fun of you on top of it.
There's a lot of quipping.
That's the good version.
Right, but this is just like, it's like straight horror comics, and then you get the medieval.
The lute. You can hear the lute is being played. There's a lot of tra-la-lees and stuff. And
we went from Bernard Herrmann's Psycho score to Ren Fair.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So then it says at the bottom, we get a nice scroll, of course, that says, but who is this Count Lycosa? And whence comes the fearsome beast known as the tarantula?
Wouldn't it be from when? I don't know. From whence?
You see, that's the narration is going right down to old timey. That's his. From whence comes the fearsome beast known as the tarantula? To learn the blood-chilling answers, we must venture into the past to a secluded village of Middle Europe in the gloomy days of the Dark Ages. And so, here we go, and it's It
feels so golden age because it's so non-specific.
Yeah, totally.
It's just like Middle Germany, Europe.
Yeah,
Holland.
It's like Jack Russell's family, right?
Yeah,
Balkan state.
They're from the middle somewhere, and it's the Dark Ages, sometime during that 500 years. So but great page though.
And then F. Murray Abraham down there in the bottom corner.
Salieri.
He's straight Salieri. 100%.
One thing I loved in that second panel though was that the venom is like almost like poached that guy's eyeballs, so like his pupils are white. Like it's so potent that it's just like they completely just
I thought he was so scared his eyeballs just went white.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, either way, it works 100%.
Right, because I took it to be like the venom, paralyzes them, so maybe it's so potent that it just kind of like pickles them essentially, just instantly, and then he can feed on them at his leisure. Because he's a man of leisure.
He's aristocratic.
He's a count,
he's a count. He's got count stuff to do. A wild 2-panel page, bisected with a diagonal line here.
So cool.
So we've jumped into the threat. It says, when without warning, hideous spider monsters led by a raven-haired priestess crawled forth from their hidden sanctuaries to seize a terrified populace in a grip of icy terror. And we see a woman dressed in minimal clothing here with the weird tarantula. Do we have a name for what these things are? They're like
arachnoids.
Waldos. I don't know what they are. They're like spider fronds or something.
Arachnids.
Fronds.
Spider dreadlocks coming off of her, but she looks otherwise completely normal. Yeah. But she's riding giant green and red-eyed tarantulas, big furry beasts. And some villagers oppose the creatures, only to be paralyzed and devoured. So we see a guy, standing up for himself and his family, and he's being gored through by, I guess, their claw legs or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But
no blood. Thank
you. But yes, we are at body count 9 at this point. We had 2 prisoners die on the last page. That was 8. Now it's 9.
You know what I really admired about this page is that imagine you're a kid, you're being like, oh my God, that last page, that was the scariest thing ever. And then you're like, what the fuck? And then you turn the page, you're like, oh my God, no, this is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Right.
So,
lady on a spider. So I'm double confused. Like, holy mackerel.
For a corny flashback segue, that was like 0.5 seconds. And then it just ramps up immediately.
Right into
violence. You're totally right. Because I thought at the end of that page, I was like, God damn, we're going to see somebody courting some lady and he's going to bring her a gift.
Maiden.
And some horse shit, some Robin Hood B movie, Z movie stuff. But yeah, you're right. Just turn the page and wham, back into the psycho theme.
It's
great to violence.
God
Jeff
damn.
Roman. Ladies and gentlemen.
I know. I loved this page. I thought it was so cool, and just the weird bisection of it too is just so strange and cool. But it continues, on the next page, because even better. So this page shows like other villagers were dragged screaming from their homes, and it says, and carried to a hidden glen where by the light of a blood-drenched moon, the raven-haired high priestess of the tarantula cult performed an unholy ritual that transformed her prisoners step by hideous step. And so, we're seeing like a freaking orgy of violence here, and the villagers transformed into hairy spider people. The hair on that third panel is what gets me.
That's what tarantulas are.
It is what they are. I know they're hairy. They are hairy.
I love it.
It is inherently part of them. But that one too. I mean, I don't know. And they immediately get really buffed. I mean, maybe that guy was really buff. I don't know. I don't want to. Who knows?
He came back buff. It's a great comic because I feel like we've been violently wrenched from. We started in a crime noir, then we went to a horror thing, and now we're in like a Hammer. Sort of medieval ye olde England, or it's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, look at that altar. Look at how badass that is.
That. I love the cult stuff.
It looks like the Count as the tarantula, which is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it feels like he's going to like some kind of Val Lewton, like, panther people, cat people type of like thing, but it's like the most violent, like Argento Bava, like weird twisted Technicolor version of it. So it's just like this short circuit where it's like classic horror thing, but also super violent and weird.
Right.
Love it.
But for kids.
Totally for kids.
Always for 10-year-olds.
And each panel has its own palette, like completely separate palette on this, which I love.
Yeah.
The sky in panel 2, I think, really sells it.
Yeah,
like the red sky is deeply creepy, and like the background in the third panel, I'm not wild about the yellow, but the background in the first, it's only because the first 2 panels backgrounds are so good. The purple to the red, it's. And I love the Harry Buff man. He's great.
He is great.
Harry Buff. I don't know what his name is, but that's what his name is.
Harry Buffman.
Harry Buffman. I don't love that background on the third panel either. I think it's supposed to be the flames of the brazier behind her, but it seems cheap and shorthandy and just like quick.
And her face is weird. Like, I guess I thought she was pretty, but she's not pretty, which is fine. But I'm just confused about the choices. I'm like, is she pretty? Is she ugly? I'm not sure.
You should tell her to smile more, Matt.
Yeah.
Tell me how that goes for you.
Women love that. we had a long. We were hanging out with. Just today is our day off, so we're just talking with our merch girl about her life, and then it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I bet.
Adventures in doing merch for metal bands. But yeah, I'm just confused. Is she pretty or is she not? I feel like the drawing's inconsistent.
The drawing is inconsistent on that. I will agree with you.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
I think that's a Boyette.
I want her to be who she is.
Right.
She's not here.
I just want her to be happy. I want her to be her best self.
I just want to know who she is. I just want to know her. I want to know her.
Yeah, before we move on, I just want to say I just love in that third panel, like the fact that they're turning villagers into these spiders, like body horror, instantly gets points from me. So even if it's silly and he is Harry Buffman and it's a little goofy, it's still horrifying.
And doesn't his outfit look a little like a Santa Claus outfit now that I look at it?
Yeah.
The big belt.
Like a Chippendale Santa Claus.
I'm not sure. I think that the villager from the first panel is supposed to be that guy. Like that's his lifespan.
Yeah.
Because I think he's wearing the same outfit. So I think, that's whatever Brundlefly is for this story. That's what he looks like.
God, about the colors, Matt, though, you're right. I mean, this is all of the palette. Mm-hmm. This is the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like this person is doing a bang up job.
The second panel in particular, the depth of field with the purple people, with the purple in the foreground, and then she's in yellow, and then in the background you have that lurking spider. I mean, it's really good stuff.
And the leafless trees. Gorgeous.
Right? Oh, yeah, so cool.
Spooky.
Okay. So another strange layout here. Again, more just evocative of a spider web. So it changes the villager into the monstrous tarantulas bound to serve the tarantula god and his sordid blood gorging cult. So that guy's full transformation is complete now. He still has just some rags of his leather togs hanging off his little spider body. Meanwhile, back in the village, we see Count Lycosa the First. And he's saying, hey, we have to gather, all team up together and shatter the tarantula priestess and her cult, the hold she has over our village. And they're like, yeah, we all agree on that, but what can we do? How do we do this? We don't even know where the secret glen is where they do these rites. And I love this close-up of Lycosa at the bottom here. He's got a pretty killer mustache. How can we kill the tarantulas if we can't find them? And he says, be still, my friends. He has a plan for all that. So I love this plan he has. Super into this bizarre ass plan to find out where the secret cove of the cult is.
Oh my God. I mean, it's the only plan, really, when you think about it. It's the only way to go.
Yeah.
You'd be stupid not to do it.
You would. I mean,
I have to say that Lycosa and even Lycosa present day, they both kind of give me like Steven Seagal vibes.
A little bit. Love it.
Which I wasn't totally happy about. But
yeah.
I couldn't help it. I was just like, that's who I saw.
Like, a really large room in his estate is a dojo and you're not happy about it. Yeah. Okay. Props to my favorite guy, almost in the whole, my favorite face in the whole issue is our buddy in blue right down there.
He's awesome.
He's drunk.
Yeah, he's drunk.
He's so drunk.
He is. I mean, that Stein lid is way up. You know that he just took a giant swig of that tankard. And but his face is so badass.
Spider-Man fog.
He's also like the guy who's just been like, I grew up in this fucking village, man. I've seen this so many times.
He's never left that valley.
He never has.
He's great.
I also love the dude over Lycosa's shoulder in the last panel. I like that guy's look also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's more wistful. He has hope still.
Yeah. Kind of got a Ron Perlman Beauty and the Beast kind of thing going on.
He does. Mid-transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have quite a bestial nose.
Yeah.
But he does, I agree. He still has dreams. He hasn't given up. Whereas the guy in panel 2, he's like, man, I just woke up here, man. I don't know what's up with all this spider.
He's just humming Blue Oyster Cult under his breath. He's not even listening to the meeting.
Okay, on the next page we get what we've wanted, what we've always wanted in this issue, which is
we never knew
we never did, but we have. So it says, yeah. So Lycosas giving his plans. It says the villagers listened and shook their heads, and several nights later, as black clouds caressed the face of an angry moon, the giant tarantula struck again, paralyzing and devouring all who opposed them, and then crawling off silently into their night with their helpless, shrieking captives. This time, however, there was an imposter among the giant arachnids. Couldn't have been a funnier way to draw this panel. There's not a funnier way. This is it. The angle, the way just his face, little face popping out. It's so great. So yes, so he's used one of the dead tarantulas and has fashioned a costume a little and he's trying to be as arachnid as possible, but he's not.
You remember those toys from the 80s, the Sectars?
Oh, yes.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I kept thinking of. And it's such a shame because the second panel is so unironically great.
Yeah,
and then this
so
panel
good.
Is really well rendered, but just goofy as fuck.
It is.
That panel, the second panel is beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Kid. And that panel is incredible. And then the next panel, very well rendered, but just inherently goofy. Silly.
It's super goofy.
This middle panel, though, I love the stuff in the foreground. It's amazing, but I love her being riding the back of a tarantula framed in silhouette by the moon.
She's just standing up as straight as she can, It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that panel really struck me with the babushka, the sad babushka, and the little girl and the corpse, and then the spooky shadow. And I love that you can tell how hand-drawn everything is because the moon's not a perfect circle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it works. Like you see, it's obviously a moon, but it's a guy drawing a moon, and it looks so good.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, if he drew a perfect circle, they'd have to burn him. They'd think he was a witch.
That's math right there.
That's Dark Ages math right there. This panel, it's so funny. I love the colors. I love the background, but the foreground is just, why is Tony Stark climbing out of a spider belly? I don't know.
Right,
Matt. I need the shirt. Make us that shirt.
You want to display that every time you go in public? What's your shirt?
I would buy that.
I will. They'll just be like, "What?" And I'll just be like, "Sit down for a second. There's some backstory I gotta tell you."
Right.
Hold on, I have the PDF on my phone. Okay, start with the cover. This is by Dick Giordano.
So anyway, Jeff Robin was this guy.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
We got to go all the way back.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a really nicely drawn panel. Like, I love the shading on the tarantula in the foreground. It's excellent. It's just silly.
And again, I feel like if this were recolored with the tarantula, everything tarantula being brown instead of green, this probably could have worked a little more.
It would help.
The green.
Not this panel, but the most of the comic, yes, not this panel.
It would seem slightly less bizarre to me. The green is just pushing it over the edge to like hyper cartoony. So
yeah, I was confused because we didn't see any of the arachnids die either in this sequence or the previous sequence.
Right.
So there was nothing to make me think that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Matt, just that whole panel.
Okay.
The whole panel on a shirt.
All right.
Okay.
I'm here for it. I'm buying that shirt.
Well, I have to do it now because Jacob said it twice, so it's happening.
Yes, okay. I knew it.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on here. So he has crept into the camp. He's followed the spiders in his disguise, and he's witness to the macabre ceremony, the likes of which no mere mortal had ever seen. Gasp! It's horrible, watching my fellow villagers being turned into giant tarantulas by the powers of that evil witch. Again, if you don't have to say something, don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
Right. How about just gasp? It's horrible.
Yes, exactly. And I, for one, found this sequence of panels to be odd because you're supposed to go to the right and then down to the left, which isn't natural to me because he's taking the thing off and saying, but there's nothing I can do here alone, and then running back to the village to get help. So it doesn't seem natural. And I really thought it was weird that the priestess, did she have a grand mal seizure? Did she just seize up? Is she narcoleptic? What's going on?
It's really weird. I think actually this is the worst page in the whole issue.
That's a good argument for that.
Yeah, I am not going to argue with you on that one. I do like this last panel, though.
Right. And the tree in the background especially is great in this panel. The torch looks great.
Yep.
Everybody's, straight out of Hammer Central Casting.
Yep. All the costume and like the line work and all their costumes, their clothing, sorry. So yeah, the following night they had to get really, really drunk. And then the next day they did return, and like a vengeful serpent with torches aglow, and it's at its head and tail. So yeah, the villagers are done. One guy even has like a hoe. So
he does. They're full of mead, and they're ready to kick some ass right now.
Frankenstein torches, rakes,
rakes. You're right.
Or pitchforks. Sorry, not rakes. My apologies.
No, but I was thinking, with hoe and stuff. Like, it's awesome.
The meanest gardeners in the town. They're pissed.
Oh man! All right, so. Yeah. So, okay. So this, guys, you gotta tell me if I'm crazy or not. Because they go and they're like, it says, okay, taken completely by surprise in the midst of a heinous mystic rite, the giant tarantulas fell bloody victim to the clubs and pitchforks of the outraged villagers. Okay. I know they're in the midst of a rite, but to defeat these horrible things, the thing you had to do was sneak up on them. Just surprise them, and you can totally just annihilate these giant spiders.
Maybe they're all like hypnotized by the rites of the priestess or something, so they're all like weaving back and forth. Or
don't be on the villager side, Matt. You always take the villager's side. Why?
As much as I really like the art on this page, I do feel like the narrative gets really rushed. Because I honestly would like to see a panel depicting the heinous mystic rite.
Yeah, right?
That sounds very cool. And seeing them sort of sneak up, and like, I feel like the pacing kind of falls apart here.
Well, I think the heinous rite was what we saw earlier, which is just that rushed idea of like she's turning them into spiders now. I don't think there's a lot of there.
Yeah, you're 100%.
I think she's gyrating in front of a fire and chanting something, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see. I'd watch the sneak up even. That would do a little bit more for storytelling. But this almost seems like a frame 55 missing, and then suddenly it's just like they've tacked them.
I feel like it's like the kids just want to see the action, so we're just going to skip straight to the action.
Bucket straight to it.
Yep.
And it's a killer action panel. Like it's a really good panel.
It is. It's awesome. So so they're killing all these spiders with their pitchforks, and then it says, and before long, and then this villager's like, the cult of the tarantula is smashed for all time. Count Lycosa, you have earned the eternal gratitude of every one of us. I like it. I like his jaunty pose against the rock. His pose of celebration. He's just like, thank you, my friend. I only regret there was no way to save those of our neighbors who were hideously transformed by the witch's magic. And so they're getting the fire together, ready to burn the witch. So we're getting right back to the opening page here.
Right, we've come full circle.
Yeah, I feel like this whole sequence of the flashback is probably my least favorite, just pacing wise and writing wise, and I don't know. It just feels kind of like he has to do this to go through his paces because of what he set up. This is the origin story or whatever, but it feels like it's kind of half-assed.
It was on the cover. I don't want these guys 50 years later to be able to drink because on the cover.
Exactly.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to do this. All right, we just want to drink. It hasn't given us a drink.
Anyway, Fleisher.
Our drinking game this season has been sad. Outside of that Sergeant Stryker, we've hardly had any. There hasn't even been any fucking glass.
No, I know. What's the deal?
Goodman was so cheap he couldn't even afford big glass.
I mean, I feel like Big Glass signed that contract with Marvel.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's an exclusive contract. Yeah, that's what it is.
There is an asterisk though that says this does not include Batman comics, obviously.
Yeah, right. That's grandfathered in.
Grandfathered in.
Yeah, okay.
You're bringing glass in the 30s. It's okay.
Okay, so we have achieved cover, right? So,
yep,
we're here.
We're moving on. We've got a nice page.
I see, again, I can't tell between panel 1 and panel 3. Is she pretty? Is she freaky? It's like a weird.
She's a Two-Face.
She doesn't look like the same person.
She's Two-Face. It's different.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So they say, "Come, Lycosa, we've got the priestess at the stake." And he says, "In truth, I detest such spectacles as witch burning. But however cruel they seem, I suppose they are necessary if we are to succeed in ridding our land of witchcraft." And I love that strange panel of again, the colors on panel 1 and 2 are just bizarre, but this stacked as they're getting further away, different colors like that. They're gold and then yellow and then pink. And that dude in the foreground, the pink guy, he touches himself a lot.
He's liking this a lot.
Yeah.
I really was like, I want to know. Oh shit! There we go. I want to know that guy's story, the pink guy.
Yeah.
He's a whole thing.
Yeah, he's a whole thing.
Yeah, he's gross. He has sticky fingers. So the priestess says, "This is your doing, Count Lycosa. You have desecrated the sacred glen of the Tarantula god and slaughtered his tarantulas without mercy. Now you make ready to slaughter me as well." Something for the 12-year-old boys there in that layout of that last panel. Just
That's
showing
right.
all the bits.
All the bits are on display.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Her outfit is carefully crafted for the
For the code.
The boy's starting to have feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know. What'd you guys think of this page? I thought it was okay. I mean,
It was okay. It's not my favorite.
it's a riot of color, which I like, but and I like the layouts and the way they use depth in the first two panels, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I like her pose in panel 1. I think is quite good.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the panel is almost good. Panel 2 is just so weird that I like it, and then panel 3 is just kind of there. But panel 2 is a real highlight. It's a highlight.
You give it enough time, I bet you'll do a band that is like a tribute. This is a trio of those three guys. You're going to dress up like those three guys and play medieval metal music.
Yep. Who's going to be the pink guy?
Jim and the pink guy.
Yeah. Matt.
Matt Howell on guitar.
Yep. Howell, you're going to be on guitar. You're going to be the pink guy. You have to bite your lower lip the entire set, though.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that helps with compulsive masturbation. So
it does. Those pantaloons. All right. So the next page we got here is awesome. Okay. I love this page. So yeah, the page is divided into like 4 slashes they're showing the witch burning and cursing. Yeah, Lycosa, saying, but mark me well and heed my final curse. For as I die in searing flame, I decree that all your male descendants shall suffer the curse of the tarantula throughout all eternity. And then, this is a long curse, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really long.
Got a lot of time while burning. Yeah.
She obviously does. So, I'll skip to the end. And she says, "Thus will the mighty god of the tarantulas wreak his vengeance upon you and all your issue." I'm like, okay, weird way.
So you just scrolled to the bottom and clicked "I agree."
Yeah, pretty much. I was just like, yeah. No, I get it. I've heard curses before. I've heard tarantula god curses before. You think I am? Yeah.
I do love that weird guy that's just like inexplicably in the foreground, just looking up, like
bystander guy. Some wild shit. He's just sitting there.
Boyette's great at bystanders. That is something I've learned.
Especially the medieval bystanders.
Yeah.
It's very every face really feels like it has its own story. The only thing that I don't like about this page is in the second panel. Well, I don't love her hair in the first panel, but I like the panel. But the shading that looks like a mustache in the second panel.
Yeah, I get what he's going for. It doesn't work.
I just feel like if you would have, I feel like if they would have had modern coloring, the shading would have completely worked. It would have been fine. It just,
I thought you were going to say it's our least favorite Jack Russell werewolf mouth. There is what it is. We don't like the suckerfish mouth. Why does a werewolf have one of those? It's so weird.
Why does her hair look like Zartan's hood in that first panel?
It's a good Cold Slither tie-in. We're right back. This is called Market Synergy. Good job.
God damn.
Thank you.
Love it.
We did it. But it really does look like Zartan's like bullshit.
I do kind of like that last panel though, where I know it's just flame and just her screaming.
No, it's
but
sick.
It's kind of cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, it is.
I think honestly this whole page is great, and the little bits are sort of nitpicky and kind of, joshing around, but it's a really good page.
Yeah.
I do like that strange, I don't know, guys, is this in panel 2? Is that brushwork where everything's kind of swooping up to suggest kind of heat warping, like the way when heat things kind of get bendy, and it's just showing the flames rising but without showing flame. It's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it's brushwork or not, but it's effective. You feel like she's melting. It's really nicely done.
Yeah. That villager in the foreground, he's tripping out on it too.
Right.
Okay.
Man, I should have taken mushrooms before I came here.
I ate the wrong mushrooms for dinner. All right. Last page, guys. You ready for this?
All right. Ready.
Absolutely.
So, for an agonizing moment, the laughter lingered before dying in the sizzle of red-hot flame and the acrid odor of burning flesh. Count Lycosa felt a strange chill and shuddered. And I love this minimalist dude, too, in the background. Pay her no mind, good Count. She is naught but ashes now, and her power has perished with her. I hope so, Jonathan. I only pray that what you say is true. And then we flash forward 10 generations to this, and he says, but alas, it was not true. How does he know? Is there some genetic memory down the Lycosa line where he remembers Count Lycosa the First's memories?
He remembers Jonathan saying that?
Right. So he's the 11th in the line, and he bears that hideous curse. And I love that painting in the background of another just someone down the line with some
guy with better hair.
Yeah, Captain Hook hair. He looks amazing. That guy is like a Spaniard adventurer or something.
Lycosa,
So we move on to the bottom here, and this is why I live alone, save for my loyal servant Joseph, in this old house, far from the innocent men and women who would otherwise fall victim to my unnatural lust. All just normal thoughts. Still, these men have proven that isolation is not the answer to that which haunts me. So this is the end of the pilot episode. He's realized, I can't just stay out here in the middle of nowhere and not turn into a monster and hurt people. I have a greater purpose.
There's tons of people that deserve to get hurt.
Yes.
Tarantula powers. Tarantula powers.
We must go from this place, Joseph. Travel to where my tarantula powers may be of some practical value. For I can no longer live in isolation. Hurry, my faithful steward. Ready transportation. We are leaving. This, then, is the tarantula. Dun, dun. And then freeze frame on him crawling, looking up at the camera as the credits roll. Steven Seagal as Eugene Lycosa the 11th.
I mean, that last panel, to be fair, is fucking terrifying.
It is
awesome.
It is gross.
Yeah.
It looks
I could totally see in 70s film stock, like him turning and looking at the camera and it freezes. And that soft 70s freeze frame.
Yeah, no, this is the end of Thriller, where it just stops and then can you hear the laugh behind it?
Oh, Vincent.
Yes, I can. 100%.
And it says,
I love the wetness in his mouth.
Yes.
Oh, that's so gross.
It's just
really gross.
Tacky stickiness. Yeah.
I mean, I honestly feel like that last panel is, it's as horrifying as anything in a Warren magazine. Mm-hmm. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, it is.
As silly as this issue gets, it also is quite dark. It's a weird juxtaposition.
Watch for his second adventure in the next issue of Weird Suspense Tales. So
look out, true believers.
Yeah.
It happened.
So, yeah. Well, it's time for our shout-outs, and many of this show's listeners support the podcast by becoming Patreon members. There are several tiers of support to fit every budget, but the most popular one is Pack Member, and that's at $5 a month. They get the weekly bonus show, that's the Shadow Show we've been referring to kind of throughout this whole episode, in audio or video format. And there's also all kinds of gated content, that's special stuff we do just for them, and that's, like I said, it's the most popular tier, and one of the other benefits they get is shout-outs in the main show, and that's where we do stuff like that. So the pack is folks like Ben Potter,
Blake, last name withheld,
Brad Elmore,
Brian Steed,
Brian from Marvel by the Month,
Caleb,
Dave Kennedy,
David D,
David Goodwin,
Glenn Lash,
Grace,
James Chagas. I hope I didn't mutilate your last name too badly there. Sorry, James.
Jared from Swords and Scrolls podcast,
Jason W.
Jeff Fitzpatrick.
Jerry from Buffalo.
Justin the Owl.
Kyle from the Heartland.
Matt Harvey in the flesh.
There he is. I'm looking at him right now.
I did it.
Yeah.
I made it.
Melissa Watts.
Michelle from Moonlit Comics.
Mighty Morphin Blue.
Pat Svek.
Rob from Marvel by the Month.
Russ from Tomes of Evil.
Sha David.
Tony Iupi.
Tim Tucker.
And Worm Drive Pro. Thank you so much to all of our pack members. But there is one higher tier on our Patreon. That is called the Star Gods. These celestial barbarian deities get everything that we've talked about before. All the bonus shows, access to our 100+ episodes of bonus material. But they also get exclusive things. We recorded a thing that's going to be made available to the Star Gods real soon. Right, Matt?
It already dropped.
Oh, it already dropped. Great. So you got to see us talking about the ancillary to the nth degree monster mags parts of Atlas Seaboard, just the very edges of the Atlas Seaboard kingdom. And we got to talk about those. And we try to do stuff every couple months, drop something that's real exclusive to the Star Gods. Also, if you're a Star God, after 6 months, you get to pick something from our Threadless shop. You can get a shirt, you can get a mug, whatever. Hopefully a shower curtain. I would encourage that.
Wait, you guys have shower curtains?
Well, Threadless can make anything into a shower curtain, man.
Yep. I've just put that image in everyone's mind. So go and have at it. But yes, also Star Gods get shout outs at the very end of the show, and that is fine folks like Ben M.
Bill Esbach.
Brink.
Eric Hadley.
Jason Feinstein.
Jesse McFerrin.
John Walsh.
Josh Link.
MJ.
Mark Nivens.
Michael Giacchino.
Ryan from Across the Bifrost, a Mighty Thor podcast.
And patron to end all patrons, Uber patron, Uber Star God Jackson T. Overstreet.
And I wanted to actually specifically tell you guys, because when I was at San Diego Comic-Con at the Hasbro booth, because Hasbro owns everything, they have a Marvel Legends / Magic the Gathering mashup figure line, which sounds insane.
Yes.
But they have a Star God figure.
Oh, I know. I need to pre-order that. Thank you for reminding me.
I know.
And it looks beautiful. And really my entire goal of being in Cold Slither, aside from, playing the songs and we get paid and stuff, that's great. But I want that, and I want the Marvel Legends Mephisto figure. But the Star God figure is so good.
That's awesome.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I'm so glad you said something, because I completely forgot to pre-order that. It was announced when I was on vacation, and I'm going to do it after we record tonight.
Yeah, it really, I saw it and I was like, wait, what? It looks amazing, and I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know the specifics of it or how it ties into this figure, but the figure is beautiful.
Yeah. Stunning. Such a great character too.
Right. I mean, David Anthony Kraft will be, somewhere, hopefully getting excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
In the afterlife.
Yep. Right.
Unfortunately.
In the great microverse beyond.
He's in that microverse. You know he is. He is in the pearl of She-Hulk's necklace.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, we haven't had
all hope for after we die.
Yeah,
God damn right. If we're lucky, that's where I want to go.
If I recall, he used alkaline pools to make a giant battery or something. So
yeah, of course he did.
That's like Minecraft for the afterlife.
No, and that's when Hawkwind's Masters of the Universe played in the background on that.
Totally.
It's the coolest sequence of all time in a comic. As far as I'm concerned.
It's been a while since we had a letters column. Like, I don't know what
Holy
was up
shit.
with that, but yeah, there's very unimaginatively named Mail Web. Jacob, do you want to be
like a 1999 email address?
Yeah,
right?
totally.
You know, Jim.Suffolk at mail.
You know what? I think I actually have 3 letters on here. We might make Matt Harvey read one.
Holy shit!
Perfect. All right, I'm ready.
What do you want to read, Jacob? Positive or negative?
I want to go positive this time.
Okay. So I'm going to read this one then.
Okay.
Dear Larry, you've got a problem. No, you've got lots of them. Some have to do with Mike Fleisher. Mike happens to be a good writer, but he is suffering from a bad case of overload. He's trying to be too prolific. In other words, he's trying to make too much money. His work is suffering. He's also seen too many bad B movies. Those who become easily frightened are cautioned not to read this magazine. Cut the crap, Mike. Another problem is one of similar heroes. The Grim Ghost and Tarantula are both victims of something that's happened centuries ago. Also, both Gigi and Tarantula are just evil-looking good guys, whose main purpose in life is punishing hoods, thugs, and cons. If we wanted that stuff, we'd watch old Superman reruns on TV. Now for your biggest problem. Where in heaven do these tarantula creatures come from? Any self-respecting James Bond fan can tell you that tarantulas live in warm, tropical climates, and not in some Transylvania-like country in Central Europe. How did they get there? How did they grow so huge? Why? When? Mike Fleisher would make a very poor news reporter. I understand that origins are dull, probably duller to write than to read, but they are necessary. Superman came from Krypton, and the Hulk was bathed in gamma rays. So where did your hero come from? Give us some hard facts, huh, fellas? That's from Hans Enid in Dayton, Ohio. And the response was, we agree fully, Hans. Therefore, Gary Friedrich has undertaken the task of recounting the origin of the amazing cult of the tarantula. Look for it in the near future.
Gary Friedrich is taking control of the entire line.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone's not enamored with Fleischer's writing on this.
Wow. All right.
You guys have thoughts about this letter?
I mean, I don't know that I'm enamored with Fleischer's writing, but I feel like this letter is it's the work of a hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like tarantulas aren't in Eastern Europe. It's like, okay, I don't know, man.
True
it's
facts.
A count that into a fucking monster and eats people in a web.
Hans Enid just sounds like an anagram anyways. So
yeah.
I don't,
it really
yeah.
does. Yes.
It's Stan Lee somehow if you mix it all up just right.
It is.
Tarantulas don't live in Eastern Europe.
You got lots of them.
Yeah.
True believer. Excelsior. Okay, so yeah, there's 2 short letters that are more positive. I'm going to let's let Matt read one and then you read one, Jacob.
Sounds good.
Okay. Dear Larry, I just don't know what to say about the tarantula. It's such a far out concept. There's no way to tell if he's a villain or a hero. However, I don't think it's fair for a man trying to do good to be turned into a spider. A very hairy one at that. Curtin Hoffman, Lansing, Michigan. Who knows? Maybe it feels good.
Curtin Hoffman?
Curtin is your first name.
Also sounds like a fucking fake name.
If they were writing fake letters to themselves, though, wouldn't they write something better than that? That just sounds like 5th grade, like 6th grader.
It does.
They want to make it believable, though. You know,
yeah. Our teacher had us write a letter to our heroes. And I said, Jeff Robin's my hero.
Wow. Kids, aim higher.
Exactly.
There's Mean Joe Green out there. Come on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Joe Green.
Weren't these letters supposedly written after the first issue?
Yeah.
And they're being printed in the third one?
Yeah.
Jeff was fully published. I mean, he published this. Like, Larry took over by issue 3.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's almost like not all comics letters are real letters.
No. That's crazy.
I need to take a long walk now. I got a lot to think about.
I just gave our drummer, he's the Zartan and Cold Slither, and while being a major G.I. Joe nerd, he knows certainly more about comics than your average person. I gave him a but not, not like a real comics fan. He's like, so wait, so like, how did Spider-Man happen? Like Stan Lee didn't create Spider-Man? And I was like, oh boy. All right, buckle up, guy. We're on a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? So Jack Kirby, there's a ring, it turns a kid into a spider, and blah, blah, This is like, hey, this was like telling somebody the wrestling wasn't real, and it was just like, oh man. So yeah, comics letters. I mean, who knows?
Well, I'm glad you're on tour. Give them a lot of time to think.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Last one says, Dear Larry, Weird Suspense #1 was excellent. I love that green hairy Spider-Man, but I never knew tarantulas had long green fingernails. Seriously, though, I'm pleased that Atlas is not setting any specific theme to their line of superheroes. What I'm trying to say is that you've scattered your heroes all over. Some are heroic, some anti-heroic, some are in the future, while others are in the past. I gotta hand it to you. It takes guts. Henry Safdie, Brooklyn, New York. Okay, that's just fake.
That's not a real letter.
That's just them, because they're scrambling, they're doing everything, and they're like, okay, Henry Safdie says, you guys have it all planned out. This is obviously... Oh my God.
Yeah,
that was the best.
That's softball plant, like in the White House press room. Like, how is it difficult being such a brave leader?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you should ask that question.
Funny, though. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Guy from Sacramento that drove 400 miles to get over here.
That's right. That's right.
Totally real guy.
He's a real guy. Oh, man. Okay. We got to try and track that guy down.
Yeah. He keeps coming up. I think he's real. I'm going to stay on the record. I think that was a real dude.
Okay.
I mean,
there were some sad, lonely people even back then.
Yep. Next episode, the hard-hitting interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
Petra Goldberg and then that guy.
That guy. No, that guy first, then Petra Goldberg.
Okay.
Oh my God. I am waiting for your guys' Petra Goldberg documentary. And your Filipino comic artist like anthology episode documentary.
Yeah.
I know this is your last season, but I'm here pitching. You're
not wrong.
I think
we're the guys to do it.
Jacob has to reach out to Petra.
Yeah,
we got to start writing the Filipino documentary script. That's a big beast.
That is
a huge undertaking.
Yeah. Okay, so for the rest of the story, Weird Suspense went on for 2 more issues. It was published bi-monthly, it looks like. And so in the second issue, the priestess came back. She returned, which I thought was kind of ill-advised. Like, I think you should put her on a shelf. I mean, obviously they didn't have much time, but I mean, like, ideally this would be like issue 9 or issue 10. Like, the priestess has come back. However, the art. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, I had the exact same thing. I was like, this is issue 12. This is like the capstone to the like slowly
the first
simmering
season of the.
That never would happen.
I think it starts off very similarly, like with dudes doing like a pawn shop heist or something. She comes back. Joseph dies, sadly. She kills Joseph. Joseph, I'm home. Spoilers for issue 2. Sorry, guys. They have a nice battle on a cliffside ledge, and she goes off into the Atlantic, I'm assuming. And so she's supposedly dead. Yeah. I didn't note this. In that little, like, what's up with Atlas that we saw in the first run, just announcing all their new comics. This says Weird Suspense is a showcase magazine that every issue will feature a new and unique horror hero. So that's weird, because that was in issue 2.
Yep.
Right.
So they're already wrong and already locked into the tarantula.
They also misspelled bestial there.
Yes, they did. Yes. So I thought the second issue was okay. The third one took me about 5 tries to get through it, because I would often read our comics at night before I go to bed, and I just kept falling asleep in this issue. There is a Middle Eastern character who has telekinetic powers, so he makes inanimate objects move. And so it's like they become like Harryhausen creatures, like statues come alive and fight for him. Felt very early Silver Age to me. This whole plot and the character of the mystic Eastern man, the weird Arab with a turban. Like,
they have to keep pointing out that he's Middle Eastern, and it's super awkward. You're just like, oh.
And I am a pretty huge fan of Pat Boyette, and I thought his work was very inconsistent in this issue. Like, we see here, like, first of all, we get to meet his assistant. So he starts, he's coming to the city now. He still has a place out on the outskirts. He's not out in the middle of nowhere, but he still has a house, a manor on the outskirts. But he has an office job, and he's a financial advisor, I think. And
it's funny. I just picked up issue 3 at the beginning of this tour down in South Florida, at a good local comic shop. Smells like old newsprint, boxes everywhere, kind of thing. And I'd picked up issue 2 a while ago, I think, when you guys first announced the next season, and I just saw it randomly. And I was reading issue 3, and I was like, did I forget? Like, when did he become a financial advisor with a secretary? And
when Gary Friedrich started writing.
Yep, Gary Friedrich.
Right.
It's all him.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it means.
It's just a lot of but if the way the story is presented is like you already knew this. Like, mild-mannered financial advisor, Count Lycosa.
Yeah.
And,
what? Yeah. It's a mid-season reboot, right? It's just weird.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's very out of Seaboard, but yeah.
Yeah. So he has this job. He has a secretary who has a crush on him. So now there's a secret identity. There's a love story with a supporting cast character. So this is just, they're trying to Marvelize this. And so we see here the villain has come in to see Lycosa, and he wants him to move around some money. He needs like cash quickly or something like that. And then he makes the statue. That's right. His trust fund. Right. God, it's so weird.
So dumb.
So he makes the statue come alive. He fights the tarantula. And then the other dude's fighting him. And he kills this dude because it's weird. They're trying to Marvelize this, but at the same time, they're kind of doing like the Marvel superhero thing, but they're doing the Werewolf by Night thing where he just kills everybody every time he encounters them. Like he eats this dude. He says, it's finished. Once more, the essence of my power, my very being has been fulfilled. So he's eaten this dude's face or whatever, like he does. So this villain is dead now. One and done. So that was the run.
The thing that struck me about the third issue, honestly, the most is, why does everybody have weird statues of like 6-armed demigods and
statuary? Yeah.
Like everywhere he goes, he's like, I'll animate this statue. And it's like, who just has a statue of that in their house? Like,
what I thought was weird, Marvelization, I don't know if it's a coincidence or if it's them just kind of trying to stick a fork in Marvel before they fall off the bridge. But, the title and the cover says Night of the Living Gargoyle. The Living Gargoyle was a character in Doctor Strange for an issue like a year before.
I did not catch that.
So, I mean, I kind of remembered, I looked up, it's from August of 73, Marvel Premiere 12. And it's just a character for one, like the Living Gargoyle. He was destroyed by Doctor Strange, stealing a book from Barrymore, the normal like bullshit Doctor Strange plots. But a character called the Living Gargoyle. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird.
Weird. So I think we're ready for final thoughts now. And our esteemed guest, Matt Harvey, please tell us what you thought of not only the first issue, but this run as a whole.
I feel like the whole thing it's a mixed bag where you can see, that there's a lot of good points. I mean, the concept of the character, I think, is very sound. A lot of the art is quite good, but I don't think it quite lands, And I think as a sort of deconstruction of Spider-Man, I think it's actually very effective. And if you just view it in, Martin and Chip being like, oh, Stan, Spider-Man, like whatever, this is stupid. Like this is what Spider-Man would really be like. And it's awful. I think it works on that level, but I don't know that it doesn't feel like a story that could go for an indefinite run without some serious, at least not with the creative teams that we saw, but there's a lot to like about it. Especially, I feel like the first issue was the strongest of the three. The third seems like it could do a thing. The second is kind of, I don't know. The second you could skip, in my opinion.
But you got to decide if the priestess was hot or not. You've been concerned about that the whole episode.
I have concerns about that. You know, I'm just, like I said, it's just the artist it's inconsistent. I just don't know what I'm saying.
One takeaway.
She did get a name in the second issue.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes.
I forgot what it was, but she got a name.
Yes.
Yeah, but it just, like I said, I feel like that was, I don't know, just that was the storyline that could have built more, and it just kind of ended up being a throwaway, one and done sort of villain, you know?
Yeah. Can I go, Jacob?
Of course.
I think I'm with you. My main issue with, I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I really did. Obviously, I love the color. I love Pat Boyette's art. The writing was pretty inconsistent, and the tonal stuff, like we were just in this first issue, like the Beagle Boys versus horrifying, arachnid creature. Like it just the tones were so uneven, and it was really frustrating. I feel like I know why I've read Jeff Rovin talk about this, the first line, right? And like what he wanted to do, what Martin wanted to do, and he wanted to push these boundaries and have these not just be an anti-hero, not be something that's kind of ambiguous, something that's outright, like Morlock is like that, this is like that, where it's like it's hard to get behind this main character. He wanted muddied waters like that, and I admire that instinct. But I think this would have been a much more successful book if it had leaned into the horror. You get someone like Archie Goodwin writing it, who can write a solid horror story. Maybe give Pat Boyette either more time or pick someone more like Toth or someone to do it to where it's consistently. I mean, the stuff that's horror in here creeped the shit out of me, but it was only like 3 pages in the whole run.
That worked extremely well.
Yeah. So when it's
creepy,
like the
idea of the Baker Boys versus Frankenstein, like that just sounds like a movie that I would watch.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's insane.
I don't know how long you could go with a morally ambiguous / villainous main character who kills and eats people's faces or whatever. But like, I think it had some gas in the tank. I just think it needed to pick a lane and either do the weird early Silver Age goofy monster thing with a 70s gritty edge to it, or just lean into the horror and just go straight horror and be disturbing. But it didn't do either. Right. And so it ultimately is not fully satisfying to me as a book.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, and I mean I agree with both you guys. I mean it's basically what I did love it. I loved the parts that were horror. I kind of agree with that first letter writer. I think Fleisher is being stretched way thin to where, and I think this is a good example of it, to where like he's kind of on autopilot a lot of the time. Then it's like, oh shit, this really works. These couple pages are amazing. And Boyette, I think, is the star of this issue. I think that he did the stuff that works is because of him and the colorist. And Fleischer's kind of thing is all over the place. And it was fun. The parts that were scary were really scary and were really enjoyable. But this isn't, after tonight, I'm never going to think about this book again. It's just a little forgettable for me.
I can't say that about it, because I think the art and the few creepy moments will actually stick to my ribs a little bit. Like I think about him stepping out of the shadows to menace those dudes in that first, like that actually was effective to me. But yeah, I mean, I won't think of it often for sure.
I'm going to think the next time I fire a gun, whenever that is, I'm just going to think lead jelly beans.
Yeah, okay, see, that's going to stick with me. Lead jelly beans will stick with me.
The Barton brothers. R.I.P.
We barely knew ye.
Yeah, how little we knew ye. So, yeah, next up, we have our friend Jarrett from the Swords and Scrolls podcast. He is coming on to talk about Wolf the Barbarian, which I've been looking forward to. It's one of those ones that is often highly regarded in the line. Short list of stuff people think are good. So it's Larry Hama, Klaus Janson, Kathy Ann Thomas, and Jeff Rovin, editor.
Spoiler alert, I have all 4 issues of Wolf, and it's mostly very good.
Awesome.
Sweet. So
it's good to hear.
You guys are real treat. Like and Larry Hama, I mean, great storyteller. Like,
yeah,
you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his stuff. So generally speaking, so I haven't read this. I've been saving myself for this. So looking forward to that. But first up, if you are a Patreon backer on the Shadow Show, episode 121, we're going to be having free jazz, which is when we don't talk about a specific comic or a specific whatever. We have stuff about our lives or something specific we want to talk about, but it's not a comic book. It's just other stuff. And a lot of people like to hear from the men behind the microphones a little bit, just who we are and what we're doing in our lives. So we do that every once in a while. So that's what's up next. Le Jazz Free.
Jazz Libre.
Jazz Libre. Yeah, so we are on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Please look for us on there and follow us. We'd love that. If you do want to get the Shadow Show or just back the show in general, you can go to patreon.com/Bronze Age Monsters. We'd love your support. There is, like I said,
highly recommend it.
Matt Harvey recommends.
It's very worth your time and money, and I love the Shadow Show. Like, it's turned me on to tons of great stuff. I recently picked up some Weird World back issues because of you guys. Aww. You guys are always finding strange gems out there. So if you're on the fence, don't just go for it. You'll be glad you did.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks so much.
If you are watching this on YouTube, we'd love for you to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the video. That helps boost this and get it in front of other people's eyes. If you're listening to this in the podcast app, we would love if you go and review the show. We love 5-star reviews the best, which is the kind that gets you a pack of buttons from Jacob made out of real live comic books.
Yep. I love doing it.
Yep. It's like taxidermy.
I have a Werewolf by Night button that I've moved from my denim jacket onto my guitar strap. So.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's as high. I thought denim jacket was the highest honor, but guitar strap, that's the top. I've never been happier.
Well, it's summertime, so the guitar strap gets more use than the
yeah, it's true.
So, Matt, it was so great to have you on again. Loved having you on. Loved having something more fun to talk about than that Creature Commandos issue as well. That was
right.
Much more enjoyable experience in general for me.
100% all the way around.
Yeah. So how do people, I'll put some links in the show notes here, but how do people find you and your music and your new podcast?
So I am on Instagram at Matt Harvey Must Be Destroyed. The new podcast will be on Instagram also at My Favorite Nightmare Podcast. And that will generally work for most things. And that's all going live basically at the beginning of September. And yeah, so if you enjoy this show, I think it will be hopefully right up your alley. And yeah, like I said, I got the idea from your guys' show. So yeah, that's pretty sweet.
We were happy if we've spread the word and turned anybody on to anything they didn't know about before they listened. So mission accomplished. Especially Skywald.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew of Skywald, but I just sort of assumed, it's like, Diet Warren or whatever, but it really is its own beast. And it's just such a deep world to dive into. If you like horror, if you like comics, I mean, you're going to have a great time. And because it's public domain, it's fucking free.
100%.
Yeah. You can't beat that.
Yeah. So next stop, Eerie Publications for you. Have you dipped your toe in the sleazy pool?
I have some, what is it? Is it Witch's Tales? Or I have a couple issues of Terror Tales and Witch's Tales.
Nice.
I do enjoy the Eerie Publications. That was, again, I learned a lot about them because a buddy of mine in Iowa, I travel a lot. So I was just like, he's like, hey, I have this box of old horror comics. Do you want to do a trade for some records? And I was like, yeah, of course. It's always the case of the thing that you make. You're just like, yeah, it's just records. Who gives a shit? People buy records all the time. I buy records all the time, but not my own. And so I was like, sure, I'll give you a bunch of records. And, mostly I wanted the Warren stuff. And there's a few of the Eerie Publications things in there. And I read them and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then your guys... that was a Shadow Show episode. Mm-hmm. So you should definitely become a pack member because then you can learn more about the Eerie Publication stuff. And that was, I enjoyed it, and then it deepened my enjoyment of it and made me want to go out and find more. It's great.
Sweet. Love it. All right, Matt. Well, it's great to have you on.
Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening or for watching. We appreciate you. And until next time, stay bronze, Pony Boy. Stay bronze.
Stay bronze.
Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Matt here. While editing the episode, I happened to stumble across unused cover art for Weird Suspense featuring the Tarantula number 4 that would have been cover dated September of 75. And this art is by the great Pablo Marcos. It's something to behold here. I'm showing it. I guess I want to share it because, first of all, it's Pablo Marcos art and it's gorgeous, but also because we were kind of talking about how the Cult of the Tarantula kind of had some potential for backstory or something interesting. And in the letters column, I believe Larry Lieber said, hey, we're going to explore the whole origin of this thing in response to a letter. And apparently they actually were. Gary Friedrich was probably going to keep writing this, it looks like. And we're seeing the history, these star spiders on Earth, the origin of the tarantula. So we would have seen, apparently, based on the reflection in the tarantula's eyes, it looks like a spaceship coming down and spiders fighting early man. So they've apparently been here for millennia. And then the other eye, there's a reflection of the tarantula fighting some other people. So, and it kind of looks like they might be spacemen or something. I don't know. But there would have been a sci-fi cosmic backstory added to the tarantula, and I would have been so here for it. Even if it was terribly executed, I would have loved to have seen it. Just wanted you guys to see it and plant that seed in your mind. We could have had whatever the equivalent of like Star God is, but with the tarantula. So there's an Earth somewhere out there where this happened.